I'm gonna let y'all. But how's dating, brother? How's dating,
man, bro? It's I ain't even gonna lie. I'm really pretty much in a space to where I'm just like all in, working on me right now, bro. Just really becoming the man that I really want to look in the mirror and just be proud of, like all the way in all areas. You know what I'm saying? So at this moment, it's like I'm fucking with whatever's fucking with me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So if you know what I'm saying, it come my way, it's like. Bro, I tell any woman that come into my space, like, look, I really ain't got the time for you right now, but as long as you understand that, then, you know what I'm saying, then we cool. But don't make it a big deal, like, why you not answering the phone, why you not getting back to me, why, you know what I'm saying, I ain't heard from you, why we not spending time. I'm going to make time for you when I can. But I'm really all in on me right now, bro, for real. Just developing myself. So when that right woman do come along, I can be everything that I need to be, for sure.
Yeah. Off today, I'm right back to what he said, but I just needed that affirmation that it's really just it's dolo time. It's back to really just loving me and getting back in that mode. Like I was really dealing with something serious. She was the only one for a minute, but she wasn't fully ready to embrace big girl time. Because there's certain things you got to stand on when you're dealing with me. I'm a man of morals and principles. You're going to have some. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, like a lot of the women we going to meet, they ain't met like a real man before. Mm-hmm. A lot of them just met, especially nowadays, met in the environments we're around and working, whether it be nightclubs, lounges. They just met niggas with money. These ain't no stand-up niggas. Niggas that do anything for a check.
What's good, folks? This is the first episode of the Elevated Podcast, man. We are here getting things popping off. Got my good brother over here to the left, Harold. What's good, man?
What's good, brother? You know, elevated in this motherfucker. Yeah.
We here, bro.
Yes, sir.
Man, how you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Happy to have my brother Ty on with us, man. A young gangster. And when we say gangster, we ain't talking about that bullshit that y'all be standing on. Ty, man, I met this brother in 2020. For real. Through some bullshit, if I'm being honest. Trying to make our stance and figure out and identify who we are through everything that was going on throughout the pandemic. But growing through that, man, we built a super, super dope bond and a real brotherhood. Ty is a security and protection professional right here out the city, Nashville. He has his own company entitled Apex Defense and Consulting. He really focuses on self-defense. Majority of it is self-defense. I ain't gonna say majority of it, but a lot of it is self-defense. And the brother also does a lot of consulting with private security, teaching people with medical and CPR, first aid, pepper spray. So much, man. I want the brother to get into it. I want to read off a script for you. I want this shit to be natural, and I want it to come out through dialogue in this conversation. So let's get into it, man. Welcome on, Ty. Welcome to Elevated, bro.
Big Ty.
Thank you.
What's good, brother?
Thank you, man. Everything is everything. Like, everything is spiritual right now, bro.
Yes,
like,
sir.
that's why I'm smiling so much, because for so long, I used to just sit back and be like, what's my purpose? But when you actually in it, and you a dog in it, like, it's just, I can't even put it in words on that. It's a different time. Like, even I'm in that space where even when like it's bad, it really ain't bad because it's building me for something that's better. Like,
Yes, sir.
I'm in that mode right now. I'm in that mode. Yeah.
Let her see it. Let her hear it. Speak on it, brother.
Yeah.
When you say that purpose and when you walking and dogging your lane in that purpose, what's the purpose you speaking on?
My purpose individually?
Yeah, your purpose individually, yeah. What lane you boss hogging right now?
Protection. Protection for myself, teaching people protection for their family, protection for clientele, just being a great man. It's bigger than even a business. It's about morality, morals, principles, what you stand for. Like I'm in it. I used to sit back and look at myself and be like, who do I want to be? And then I'm really that right now. Like I was sitting in a chair the other day getting a tattoo, and I'm like, And we can use our words on here right now, right?
No,
we,
talk
we
your
good.
shit.
Like
I opened the intro with
Okay, for sure.
motherfucker, bro.
For sure.
Come on now.
believe it. Like
pop your shit.
I'm looking. I'm really that nigga.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really
Yeah.
that nigga. I'm growing into. You know what I'm saying? Like, and really growing into it. That's the scary part because I'm right here.
You ain't there yet.
Well, I'm really not there yet. Like
Yeah,
it's scary hours.
Yeah.
But you know that's the purpose. Just cultivating the brand of myself, growing as a man, and embracing the mistakes along the way. You know, having that humility, like, bro, I'm not perfect at all. Not perfect. Gonna make a million mistakes today, a million more tomorrow, but I'm gonna grow from them, I'm gonna learn from them, and that's gonna transcend me into a much greater being for myself, you know, for my community and for the world.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
talk us up to it, Ty. How do you even get to this point of just being the man of protection? First, how old are you, bro?
24.
24, young and getting
Crazy.
it. Young and getting it. For
Crazy.
real. How did you even, you know what I'm saying, gravitate towards, you know what I'm saying, just doing protection?
Man, that military mindset, that was always in me. Like being a soldier was always in me. I just didn't have it in me to fight for the power structure. I couldn't give my life to fighting for America. Like I couldn't. I studied like how this country treated like black soldiers that were returning from Vietnam.
Yeah.
Returning from World War I. Like literally putting their life on the line. Going fighting people who they don't even have smoke with for real. They don't even hate them.
Yeah.
But they come back to their own country and literally getting lynched because they need a job. You know what I'm saying? Like I studied that, so I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I wanted to. Like if perfect world, this was our land, like bro, my goal would be to retire a 5-star general. You know what I'm saying? Like that was always in me. I knew it. I didn't I didn't have the visions of just being like the business owner or whatever it was in regards to income. Like I knew like I want to get paid to play with them things, like for real. And you know, it wasn't even a payment behind it, like cause, you know, and I'm sure we'll touch on it, the work we do. We ain't getting compensated for what we do out here in the community.
Nah.
It was just it's in me. You gotta be in you, not on you. And like it was honestly just like being young, like watching the movies like, you know, 300 and all the jarheads and everything. Like it's that feeling, it's them cold chills. Like when he said that, it's some cold chills when you see like men on the line standing in unity in the face of death. It's I'm getting them right now. Like it's different. Like that's me. That's why I just love this brother so much because it's in him. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just my soul. My soul, and you know, not glorifying war because nothing is beautiful about war, but it's cold, but it's fair. Somebody got to do it.
Yeah.
So
Most definitely, bro.
I'm one of them. Yeah.
Most
They
definitely.
say nobody loves a warrior until the enemy is at the gate.
Yes, sir.
No, for real, man. Let me ask you this: how does, because you've given a lot of insight into your mindset and how you got into this early point, bro. 24 is so young. But how you got into this early point right now? How does Apex, that being your company name, because I know what it means to me. I pride myself on being an apex predator. All right, so how does that tie into your brand? You know what I mean? You personally, like, where did Apex come about?
From the cliche perspective, Apex, top of the food chain, lion, wolves, whatever it may be. Apex from that perspective, and just owning our space and being the apex of who we are around us. You know what I mean? Not from an egotistic perspective, but just simply where we are, dominating our space.
Yeah.
I'm an apex. You know what I mean? That's what I am. And understanding that that's not everyone's role, but for those few who are ordained with their role, these are the practices and these are the steps. This is what is necessary to protect you and your family. You know what I mean? Like it ain't easy. It's a burden. It's a burden on us as men. But we live with it because it's our destiny. It's what we have to do. Either we stand up like a man on our 10 or we fold. So
Folding ain't an option.
it ain't an option. So I put the company together, and even for women as well. Like you know, from starting out, you know, our purpose was to really, you know, just train up black women. You know what I'm saying? Protecting themselves from domestic violence, sexual assault, things of that nature. Because the sisters can, you know, get trained just as the brothers, and it's more than, you know, our people as well. I'm training people of all, you know, colors and creeds, teaching them the importance of self-defense. You know, just keeping yourself alive. So that Apex name, and it honestly just fit. Like I had a couple of ideas at first. Like at first, my company name was tactical asset protection. And then I want to lose a tactical. That's just too like cliche.
Cliche as hell, yeah.
Then I just went to asset protection services, but I want to drop that because some people who are in the private security sector understand asset protection being property, merchandise. I ain't on that. I'm not. I understand capitalism and how sick it is, and I'm not building a business structure off of stopping somebody from stealing resources and water. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't me.
Yeah. It was I just when you had sent it to me, that's one of the first things that like clicked in my mind. Cause that's why I say wolves and shit like that. And that is literally it. You stop the food chain. Apex predators don't get hunted. All right, unless it's by humans most of the time. And most of the time, if you hunting the apex predators, 9 times out of 10 probably illegal. Feel me? So I love that, and I really wanted to ask that, and definitely even just giving you an opportunity to display your business and your business model for sure.
Well, you gotta be not to cut you off.
No, you good, bro.
But
Go ahead.
you gotta be a bad motherfucker, because at the end of the day, when it comes to saying us being hunted from a defensive perspective, we don't get to choose the time and the place. We gotta be on it. We gotta be ready to go at any moment. We don't get to have breaks, because if somebody's stalking you, they've been watching. And they know when they want to get you, where they want to get you, where they think you're vulnerable. We don't have that ability to see that. We don't know when it's coming, so we gotta stay at the top of our game. Yeah. So
the day you gotta fight for it, you're right. You don't get to choose a place or a time. Somebody else get to choose it, and they ain't gonna let you know till the last goddamn minute. Like you ain't gonna know until shit has already hit the fan. So that's dope, bro. Appreciate that for sure.
Man, real quick too. I just want to let y'all know that the good brother Ty, he walked in here with gifts. So the standard has been set. So anybody else walking through this door coming on here to speak, y'all know what it is. I appreciate that, brother.
I was always taught, and then just watching the example of other people and like what they do. Like you never step into anyone's home or space, and you either leave it in the same manner or better than how it was when you got there. You know what I mean? You never want to be a taker, because I think we live in a world where a lot of times we're not demanded to reciprocate. So because of that, we can get used to sitting into just receiving and not giving. But it's a blessing for me to be here right now. Like, this is y'all's baby. Y'all cultivated something and put it together and asked me to be on. You know what I'm saying? Ask me. Like I didn't come at y'all. Can I do this? Nah, y'all ask me.
Yeah.
Like nah, bro. Y'all deserve that. Y'all deserve to be rewarded with those things. And
Respect.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Respect,
I appreciate that. It's because you have value, bro.
Yes, sir.
Indeed.
All right, and I can't wait for the people who eventually view and listen to this to see that. And I'm really sitting here proud, like just watching you display this aura right here. I remember the first day I met you, bro. I remember you pulled up to my house with the fro, the big sweats on. You know what I mean? That's not anywhere close to the same guy I'm sitting across from, bro.
You done been there. These 4 years, you literally seen me grow into a man, bro.
Yeah. And I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's a beautiful process to watch, fam, for real. Especially watching any black man, I'm gonna say black boy, transition into being a man, or any black young adult male, because men think a lot of times once you become of age, you become a man. And it's not. Your age don't determine that. It's them practices and the shit that you're willing to stand by and stand on for real. And I watch you stand on that shit, fam. So I'm for real, bro. This shit spiritual. Like watching it, I'm enjoying watching it, fam. For real. And I hope that people can take an opportunity to really dig through your content and stuff like that over the past 4 years and really watch you grow, bro. It's really, really dope. I'm gonna ask this: what do you say to the people? Because we were talking about a little bit before the show. What do you say to the people who try to coach you into doing it their way? And honestly, most of them people probably ain't never did what you're trying to do. And then also, what do you say to somebody else who's potentially trying to start a business or really just trying to find their purpose in their lane, and people are, you got so many outside influences, people just nagging and trying to pull at you. What do you say to those people? The people who saying this shit, who really ain't got a leg to stand on for real, and the people who are potentially in your position where you getting that noise And how do you block out that noise?
I've never been one to let someone project their fears onto me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Even if it's coming from a place of love, never. Because the vision I have for myself, you'll never be able to see. You know, like David Benny has a great quote. He says, being a visionary is a blessing and a curse. You're blessed to see things other people are not able to see, but you're cursed to sit in it alone. I know what's coming.
Yeah.
I can't make somebody else see that for me. I know what I'm destined for. I know it may not look the prettiest, it may not look the most professional to you, you know, because you may be looking at it from a Eurocentric point of view. I didn't get into this business to just go corporate, to, you know, work for a Fortune 500 organization. Like I came in with all money in on my hand. You know what I'm saying? I came in with long hair, I cut it, but I didn't really care. Like I don't care what you feel like is the best route for me, because you ain't got to live in this body. I do. And at the end of the day, I got to go to sleep knowing was I true to myself. It's all about my spirit, you know, whatever you view from a religious perspective or spiritual perspective, what God is to you. At the end of the day, you got to go to sleep at night to speak with that individual. Was I true to myself? Did I compromise myself and who I am to appease somebody else? It ain't gonna be me. I learned that early. Like I'm gonna do me every time.
Yes, sir.
And if I fail, it's cool. I ain't die. I ain't die. You ain't die.
Nah,
So,
for real.
I guess that's to touch on that first part, and then I think the second one, I know you mentioned like teaching, like, I guess people how to find their purpose.
Really, so the second part is really somebody who is trying to find their purpose, right? They're on their path. Let's say they found it and they trying to navigate their way through the matrix, and people are saying, well, you shouldn't do it this way, or I feel like you should do it that way. But I feel like you low-key answered it in the first part. You can definitely tap back to it, but in the answer you gave, you low-key hit both of them.
Okay.
For real.
I will say, when it comes to when we see someone having a, I guess, level of success, we don't see the process. You know, we don't see what it really took to get there. You know, you see someone, you see a man who's confident, that walks with his chest out, chin up, you know, shoulders broad. He may not always been there. That wasn't always me. You know, I suffered from my position, bro. Like I really did. Like I remember 2020. Like I was really working at Amazon for like 13 an hour, like 14, 17, whatever it was. Like I was really doing that. I was really like just making enough like to make my car payments. Like I was making $300 a week. I wasn't having no motion. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm liking a girl. She live in Chicago. I'm being a dumb young dude tricking off with what I can. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm buying 1-800 flowers. I'm buying like $50 bouquets.
Yeah.
But like I just and they only giving you like I think they only giving you like 5-hour shifts.
Yeah.
So you got to think, if I'm getting paid like 16, 17, I just spent 50 on some flowers. I really just
spent your shift.
All my income for the day. I just sent to somebody who really ain't even rocking with me like that. You know what I'm saying? So like that's growth, bro. Like you gotta suffer. You have to. It's okay. So one of the laws of the universe is like, in order to gain, what are you willing to give? Like, okay, you say, and it's a thing of asking, you shall receive. So you say, I want success. I want to get on my purpose. Are you ready to embrace the pain that comes with maybe having to let some people go that you are emotionally attached to, that you have those soul ties to, because they're not beneficial to where you're trying to get to, you know, because it ain't always gonna be pretty. Like it ain't always been pretty for a minute. It's still not. I'm going through things right now. You know what I'm saying, to this day, but we gonna stay in the fight. By all means, we gonna stay in the fight.
Stay in a goddamn fight.
What was that point for you where it just clicked? Because I know just coming from Amazon to being where you at now as a business owner, what was that moment for you where it just clicked? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is it. I'm going all in.
That's a great question. So this is how it all fell in line. That's a great question. So COVID hit. COVID hit 2020. I was 21. No, I was 20 when COVID hit. It was around this time 4 years ago. I was 20 years old. I was turning 21 on April 26th. I always wanted to own a pistol. Always. I always just wanted to be strapped up. You know what I'm saying? I always had that vision. You could, and the laws in Tennessee, as long as you had a residence, you can have a rifle when you're 18. Until you turn 21 is when you can carry a handgun. But I was going to Fisk, So of course you can't have a firearm in the dorm rooms. So when I was 18, I was already at school, so I didn't even have that chance. Like I was always like, I just want a big ass pump. I just wanted a pump, bro. Like for real, I just wanted a pump. Like they hard, shotguns cold.
Yeah.
So I couldn't have it. COVID hit. I knew like, okay, I want to, get my pistol permit. I was about to be 21, and then around that time is when everything happened with, from Ahmaud Arbery. So much.
Yeah.
So much.
We can say names.
Us straight up getting slaughtered in the streets. Like, we're going to call it what we call it.
Yeah.
We ain't going to call it police brutality. We're going to call it genocide.
Right.
Because that's what it is. We're going to address the reality. And I was like, where do I fit in with all of this? Because this ain't right. So then is where I started saying, okay, so we got my passion to always want to fight, but I don't want to fight for the wrong cause. So let me ask myself, who am I? Who am I? Who's my people? What's my history? So if this is my people, I'm a fighter, then I gotta be on this side of history.
Yeah. So
that's how it really all connected. Just started, honestly, I started out security, which is like, we can call it protest security, to keep the parameters within us. Yeah. Keep it confined in those parameters. Protest security.
Yeah.
So just helping out, different organizations, whether it be armed protests or whatnot, providing security. Just black folks fighting for their rights, man. You know what I'm saying? Fighting to be free individuals. So that's how it kind of tied in, and then from there, me and Brother Harold connected. And I'm like, I can really get down with this. It's like this something, because when you it's real and it's your purpose, when you ain't get paid a dime, but you felt so alive. When you just did something, you was like, I'd die for this.
Yeah.
That's when I knew,
and
like,
do it 10 times.
I do it 10 times. Like I'm standing there like, shots can start ringing at any moment. Fuck it, let's do it. Like,
let's do it.
Let's do it. Like that was it. So then, and I was always a historian too. Like I loved, my favorite subject growing up was history. Like elementary school, I don't know why, man. I was fascinated with like the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. So in my elementary school, they had a book. It was titled like The Assassination of Abraham Lincoln. It was always checked out the library. I remember I checked out, love that book. It just talked about John Wilkes Booth, how he did it, stalking him and whatnot. And I've always been just a dude, like when it came to history and wars, that was my thing. Like it was another book about the Revolutionary War. My brother Sam, like anything with history, I was into it.
Yeah.
So of course, naturally, I gravitated to my history. So I started studying the Panthers and whatnot. So then I'm looking at these leaders, and I'm studying guys like Geronimo Pratt, who went and fought for the United States government, took that training back and brought it to the people. I'm looking at people like that. I'm like, okay, that's cold. I'm looking at all these vets from Vietnam that are leaving Nam and like, nah, man, something ain't right. Like we're over here fighting these Vietnamese people. They ain't never had no problem with black folks. So then they like, okay, but they coming back to their hood. They people really getting like gunned down, and they know something ain't right with it.
Yeah.
So they taking all this training that they got, and they bringing it back to the youth. Putting rifles in the youth's hands. I'm like, man, that's so cold. So that's why I gravitated to the Panther Party, and from there, kind of all just mixed in to the point where I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm really like that of my age. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't 1966 no more. Now it's 2020, and I'm really like a real life Panther. So.
Young too, like the Panthers. You know what I mean? The Panther Party was a collection of the youth. But yeah, man. Young like it too. Being 20, bro. 20. Start running this race is crazy. What we at on time, Jeff?
We got 10 minutes.
Okay, I bet. To go back to you saying you're a historian, stuff like that, all right, and I know you read a lot. You encourage me to read a lot, and I appreciate that. What would you say? I'm gonna say give a top 3 and then give, even if the one that answers this question ain't in your top 3. All right, so give me a top 3, and then I would say the book that helped you transition most into manhood. Because we all might have a favorite book, but that book, we might just identify with the story, the struggle, whatever the case may be, but that ain't necessarily what helped transition us into manhood. You feel me? So give me a top 3, and then a book that you would tell a young brother to grab potentially if he was trying to seek out some type of mentorship and grow and develop.
Okay. Probably the Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. Because the book is broken down into who we are as a people what happened with us along the route to, how we got from great heights to where we are now and what we need to do to get back there. So it's a historical book, but it also comes with a plan. So that was dope for me because I'm a historian. So it's tapping in with, ancient civilizations, going back to, Kemet, Ethiopia, all over the continent, talking about like tribalism and the disunity we have for each other is the reason we fell so low.
Yeah.
Like, because when every other people came, we weren't on code. We was, I'm doing this here my way, and I'm doing this my way. And they was like, well, we finna join up and do it to the both of y'all ass our way. You get what I'm saying? So I really love that book. I say you could probably call it 1B, the autobiography of Malcolm X. My favorite leader of all time. Man of great morals, great principles, and couldn't be bought. I love Malcolm because it's discipline. Like they say, like when they did the autopsy on Malcolm, like all of his intestinal tract and everything looked like he had the body of like a 20-year-old man because he fasted. He lived what he said. People don't live what they say. He was the message that he brings. Everything he said he was going to do, he did it, and he stood on it, and he died for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to respect it, man, even if you're wrong. Like, I might not agree with you, but if you're willing to stand on it, stand on it. You know what I'm saying? So you could call that a number 2, and then a number 3, I feel like I guess we got to tap into something that's maybe not too historical.
Nah, this you, bro. Give it for you. Give it for you. Give it for you. This your 3.
I'm gonna look back on this video and be like, I should have hit something else. But I will say, and you would agree, you can't go wrong with The Way of the Superior Man. I'm sorry, you can't go wrong with that book. The great thing about The Way of the Superior Man is it's broken down to where you don't have to just read it through like a book. You can, for someone who might not have the mental capacity right now to just sit down and read a book, like that's okay. Because we got to understand, like I have so much humility for people because our minds are wired to move how it moves with, instant gratification with cell phones and whatever else to where we're so easily distracted. So I don't blame people when they can't sit down and read a book. It's all about your intention. Are you trying to do better? So like with The Way of the Superior Man, it's broken down into different chapters and there may be 1 or 2 pages. So you may be on some time and where I'm just gonna try to sit down and check this out, being a young man, and you read a page where it's speaking about, sexual transmutation, semen retention. Okay, so speaking on that, then it's talking about maybe dealing with a woman and having to let her go if she's not connected to your purpose. That's a hurtful feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like having to experience that as hurtful, but it's true. So The Way of the Superior Man is a great one. Then I gotta hit one more because it actually just popped up in my mind.
Go ahead and throw us to one up.
Go ahead, bro.
Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich.
Okay.
Got to.
Okay.
Because that right there puts you in a mindset of realizing that this is all just energy. And everything is just flowing. Like we feel like we're in a physical state, but we're literally just beings, flowing. And whatever frequency we put our mind on, that's what we're going to align to. If I want riches, but I'm vibrating in this state, I'm not on the state of riches. Because you're thinking riches are a tangible thing that we pull out of our pocket, whether it be a coin or a dollar, but it's not. It's just a flow of energy. Because once you put your mind on that currency and you match up to it, y'all just align. You know what I'm saying? And you connecting with that and understanding that if I want to get on that current, it's certain things in my discipline that I have to do. I can't be out here eating fried chicken and fried foods and not going to the gym because that's going to keep me in a low vibrational state.
Indeed.
And if I'm operating low vibrationally, I can't expect to obtain high vibrational things. But when I'm putting high vibrational things into my body, fruits, berries, drinking my gallon of water a day, going hunting, that's what we call, that's what we call working out. We going hunting. So I'm going hunting. I'm putting myself into that mode. I'm giving myself positive affirmations. Money flows to me in abundance. Money flows to me easily. Money flows to me frequently. I am, not I will be. I am doing this. Then naturally, you are what you're becoming. So Think and Grow Rich is a real good one.
Yes, sir. Shout out Napoleon Hill,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Nah, for real.
Indeed, and that Way of the Superior Man. Good brother Harold just introduced me to that book. I was talking to Marco the other day. He was like, bro, what chapter you on? I said, 9. He was like, damn, nigga, you 9. But what you were saying, though, like some of them chapters is just like 1 or 2 pages, bro. And it's opening up my mind to a lot already. Just, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be all heart or all spine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the balance, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, indeed. So, man, just reading that, it's just opening up my mind to a lot, bro. And Yeah, I'm glad you introduced me to that book.
Those small lessons being valuable, bro. You can't
Indeed.
place of it like for real from wrestling. Like bro said, from wrestling with the feminine and all the different ways that go with that from, I mean, potentially dating and dealing with somebody who's not aligned to your purpose or potentially trying to navigate through the emotions of a woman who's not even really emotionally mature enough for your current state and how to detach. Like that, I ain't gonna lie, that book. I'm glad to be going back through it with y'all right now too, man.
I know you seeing some stuff that's like, man, every time you read it,
I mean, it's staying in your brain. And every time you go through it, let's say you've mastered, or I ain't gonna say mastered, but you're conscious of your decision making around a lot of the stuff that you've already highlighted and wanted to implement in your life in that book. All right, so cool. It's like now literally like, I can potentially skim over those because I know I got it. I mean, it's a good reminder, a good refresher, but now I can focus on the other things. Like, let me try to get into these other details and stuff like that I felt like didn't potentially meet me where I was at that moment, but could help pull and push me forward now, bro. So I love that book, bro. I need to go back through Think and Grow Rich. I ain't touched that book since like college.
I got
right out of college. I mean, I got it on. I'm pretty sure I got a couple credits on Audible. I can probably download it or just tell Jeff about it. I was like, man, I forgot about McKay.
It's another one. It's called Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich.
Because the cool thing about like when it comes to the law of attraction, sometimes people get caught up in trying to practice with the law of attraction that they're doing. And the thing about attracting things is you're not doing. Yeah. When you're chasing something, you never truly seem to catch it. But when you just exist, like everything just coming your way. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you're right about that. I want to backtrack real quick, Ty. You was just hitting on just the low vibrational things, just, you know what I'm saying, putting into your body the food, you know what I'm saying, just getting them fruits in your body and things like that. You walked in here, all money in on your hand, bro. Shout out to Nip. How do you feel about the music? Do you feel like the music plays a big part on us in the black society, black community? Like, do you feel like that's also something that we intake that's low vibrational, or how you feel like the music and how it influences us as black people?
It definitely is and can be, but also, I can't be hypocritical. Sit right here and saying like I don't partake in it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, definitely so. Because we can't say affirmations are real, and then at the same time, be like it's just music. If we listen to something just saying kill a nigga, shoot a nigga, fuck a nigga, fuck a bitch, fuck a nigga, do whatever to a nigga, rob a nigga, steal from a nigga. Can't do that. We can't call ourselves guys, but I mean that's the catchy part about it. Because at the same time, it bump. It's something. it's something about when I'm.
So that's when you out there hunting.
When I'm under that steel, that bar, and I get to push. Hey, I get because then I get to thinking about
some y'all niggas.
I get to thinking about some people that really did me wrong, and it's like it's okay to not be super peaceful. No, like it's something I'm fucking. Yeah. It's something I truly feel that.
I think it's with the music, man, I think it's a place of where you are.
Yes, sir.
And for us, I'm going to say, when I say us, I mean my generation. I'm 32. All right. I'm pretty sure we're a lot less impressionable to music. Like, we don't hear it, and I don't want to go do that. Like, for real. Right. But this pain in this music, this story that they're telling can remind me of a time where I had to overcome. I was dealing with something. I was dealing with some emotion. I did have somebody I potentially wanted to go out here and do something too, but I chose another route. You feel me? And like you said, some people right now, fuck them. Like for real, you tap into that mindset. But on the other side of this song, on the other side of this set, all right, I'm pushing and I'm still working to better myself and my mindset and shit like that. So I think it's a point of where you are. A young person, something like that, who's not as fully developed, I ain't gonna say younger person. I'm gonna say you could be my age, but you just ain't found yourself for real. You might be a little bit more impressionable to the music. You might be out here trying to live the life that they say that they living. You know what I mean? Because you potentially want some of the shit that they got. But yeah, the music, I feel like it's where you, because I love pain music.
Yeah, I got a whole playlist.
I like for real, literally labeled pain. Yeah. It's one of them days I want to go hunting for real. We go hunting on the regular, but Sometimes we go on the extended stay hunt. You know what I mean? It's where you looking for a little bit more, you know what I mean, out of that push. You trying to challenge your mindset, your mental fortitude and shit like that. So I need that pain sometimes, bro.
Indeed.
A podcast ain't gonna do it. Listening to a book ain't gonna do it. I need that bass and fuck this shit.
He hit it on the head though. I was saying it's really just where you are.
Yeah.
Because we grown, but even I was younger, I just had like a different mentality to where I couldn't be, my mind couldn't be persuaded to do a certain thing. Like peer pressure never was a thing for me. Like I literally, I never had alcohol until like after college.
Yeah.
Like it just like y'all can't force me to think a certain way. I'm a move how I move. But I understand like some just ain't. Like you have people who like, coming up young, like they're so impressive, they literally crash dummies. So you put this in front of them, like you know,
Getting that music can appeal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it can definitely appeal to them, but he hit it on the head. It's all about where you are.
For sure.
The youngest give them a song and a perk or something. They ready to go be a menace. Like, man,
Over with. 30, 40 years.
40 years.
So Ty, did you have because you got a super strong mindset, bro, especially being so young and just being the man that you are at such a young age. Did you come from did your family have like a military influence or like a revolutionary influence, anything like that, or it's just always been something that's just kind of been like, nah, I ain't gonna say kind of, that's just been instilled in you?
It was just there naturally.
Just there.
There naturally. Didn't really know my dad. You know what I'm saying? My mom, it wasn't really everything. My mom was always a teacher. So, you know, I was pushing on me like the, you know, importance of academics, you know, being pretty tough on me from that perspective. But in regards to just being militant, like, it was just looking around.
Word.
Like, you know, like just, it literally just has to be in you. You know, I wish I could say like it was a moment where it clicked, but it never really was. I just knew like even like being in school, like seeing a bully like just pick on a kid that like he just chilling. Like, you know, certain people that's gonna like really put a rage in, you know what I'm saying, to make you like really want to touch something up, like, you know, because it's like why you fucking with him?
I used
you
to
know,
be that same way, bro.
That was always just my thing, like to provide hope to the hopeless, provide protection to the ones who don't have it. You know, to be that shield for those that are vulnerable. Like I am the shield. You know what I mean? Like it's a, like, you know, being a bodyguard, like that's what it is. Like you, if you can't say I can take a bullet from my client, you're not built for this lane. Yeah. And I tell people that all the time. It's when it comes to our field, like what happened to you, Brian? And I don't mean to trigger you in any manner, but in regards to, you know, what happened with you having to defend your life, like. People, and we so different. Like it seemed like we don't care how we talk. We so different because people may hear like you really like taking rounds and like firing back and administering your own aid, and people be like, "Oh, I can't believe it. This is just." And I'm just like, bro, this is what come with the job. Yeah. Like you thought you was going to get into this career field and it didn't come your way. At some point, it's gonna come your way. You gonna get tested. You're gonna be put in a position where it's. All that shit you be talking about. Oh, you say you market off services. Oh, you licensed to carry in these states. You may have to use it one day. Let me see what you're talking about. Yeah. Somebody gonna want to test your gangster. Yeah. Okay, you look like you got a little muscle on me. Let me see what you like when I step to you and, you know, give you a little nudge. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Man, brother Harold, he spoke on that the other day, man. He was just talking about, and it made me think too, just coming out of high school, you know what I'm saying? If you finish with sports, when you come out of high school, you really don't get tested. You know what I'm saying? It's like you need to be tested as a man. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know when that moment might come. So it's like just becoming more of a man. Like you need to have them run-ins, get tested sometimes to, you know what I'm saying, just make sure you're still on point. And but
put yourself in an uncomfortable situation.
Indeed.
I would say for myself, and again, it's back to the journey. Like I wasn't always like this. Like, bro, high school, I was always the fat kid. Like I was always the big kid. Like you
might have to put that in the background of the video when you say that, because they ain't gonna believe.
Oh yeah, we
gonna they ain't gonna believe. And I need the one tie with the shirt up.
I got you.
Send me the photo.
I got something for y'all. Like for real, like that was me. Like, so growing up, and that's why I'm so passionate when it comes to health, because like growing up, I always had a weak immune system. So I grew up until like third grade. I was pretty like average size, like a skinny kid, and then kept getting strep throat, had asthma, strep throat, pneumonia, and they would put me on steroids to fight off the strep throat or the pneumonia, and I blew up, and it never went back down. And then me just the way capitalism is designed and the foods and the hormones, like eating things like, bro, I'm getting breasts, like I really had titties. You know what I'm saying? Like I really had titties, and that's like you get to that point where you're like, I don't want this no more. Like I didn't want it. Like mine was, I feel like what a lot of young men go through. I met a young girl in high school, and I liked her, and she wasn't fucking with me. And you start to, it was honestly just because she wasn't fucking with me. No hard feelings,
Straight
but
up.
in my mind, you already had those insecurities because of your weight. So I'm like, oh, you ain't fucking with me because of this? It's because I'm fat, huh? Because you fucking with dudes, so it's got to be because I'm fat, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm going to show you. So then 3 months, I lost like 60 pounds. But in the process of me thinking I was going to show her, I was really just showing love to myself.
Yeah.
Because when I lost the weight, she still didn't like me, but I didn't care.
Because I like me now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Nah, for real.
And when you like you,
Damn,
it
it
don't
really
matter.
it don't matter.
You don't
Nah, for real.
your validation don't even exist in my stratosphere no more. Because I'm a new man. I'm a new creature.
Indeed.
When you there to look at a woman like, are you crazy for not choosing up? Like for real, look at I know your options because I'm around these niggas too. Right. You know what I mean? So when you get to that point, it's a different feeling. And to kind of backtrack to what Jeff was saying about just being tested, like for real, they say, I'm just go to the basics and then take it a little bit further. They say the average person after 30, like it's probably 1% of people over the age of 30 who have sprinted since they turned 30 years old.
That's crazy.
1%. It's crazy. Like for real. I mean, and then to just let's get along with strength and conditioning and really exercising and taking advantage of a proper diet and nutrition. And I just feel like a man should be in constant pursuit of friction, not necessarily conflict. I mean, but how the hell you gonna grow? I mean, because other than that, the only time you getting tested is by a woman. When she telling you ain't making enough, you know what I mean? When she telling you or she trying you about a woman or something like that, because most men can't handle accountability from other men, so they cower from it. So you're not getting tested and pushed there. But we got you know what I mean? Y'all know what we do.
Yeah.
The wolves, you know what I mean? But for real, man, most men are never tested again after 30. It's so much built up and pent up emotion and so much shit. Like, where do you release that shit? I mean, what do you have that's guaranteeing your growth? Making sure that you're taking the next step. And where are you getting your mentorship from too? I mean, so yeah, like David Goggins talk about this shit a lot.
Dog.
Love that, man. Dog, bro. I don't know about that white one, but
Right. Another topic. Other than that, dog.
but dog, bro. He talks about that a lot, man. Just how people are bitches for real. People are scary as fuck. They don't have the ability to look themselves in the mirror and call shit what it is, right? Ain't nobody talking about you because they call you fat. You just fat. You're
You take it
overweight.
personal.
You take it like you should take it personal though, because your ass is personally fat. You should want to
Right
go
on,
do something
right on.
about that personally. You should take it personal, but you shouldn't be offended or say that is mean. Or I mean, the person probably could have kept that comment to themselves, but what if that comment came from a person who love you? Like, motherfucker, you getting fat, bro.
Yeah.
You need to do something about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, he just talk about how people are soft and how people aren't in a consistent pursuit of friction. That is the reason why we hunt.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's the reason why we challenge each other. We hold each other accountable because we ain't really getting that shit nowhere else. If I'm being, I ain't for real. If I'm lately with this challenge and stuff like that, we done made this shit real personal. That was a goal of it, to make it personal, make you show up for yourself. But you need that accountability. You need that friction for sure. For sure. So both of y'all hit some cold points with that, bro. Like, for real.
I had to go through that too, bro, because I was working at a church. You know what I'm saying? I was down there in Atlanta, so I ain't really just had that push You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's pretty much comfortable down there. They just, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
As long as God, you good? You know what I'm
Make
saying?
it
Won't
till you
nobody
make it.
really just getting that push.
Yeah.
But just coming back here, bro, like I went through the same thing with the girl I was with, you know what I'm saying? And just doing that 30-day challenge, man. Now looking back, bro, after I done lost 20 pounds, just looking back, I'm like, bro,
Good.
I'm like, nah, my stomach was like my zip up hoodie. Like
Yeah,
my,
that rich nigga
my
stomach.
stomach was, nah, for real. I used to
Say, I'm
sit like
getting
this,
fat.
bro.
Guess
Like,
I'm eating
yeah.
good.
Like, bro, so, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
glad I went through that because it really made me, I was on the same, like, I'm finna show you. But in doing that, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, I started loving myself. I'm like, I'm looking in the mirror. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm that nigga for real. Like, fuck
real,
you
for
talking
real.
about? Like, yeah,
Without
so.
a doubt, a contradiction.
Indeed. So, man.
Let me
like,
ask both of y'all
gotta
this.
go through that.
Since both of y'all kind of talked about situations with female, both of you, I don't know about you now, but you single?
Yeah.
By
funny, I had
definition.
to cut something off today.
Man.
Today.
Today you served them papers. But okay, cool. So with dating right now, what does that look like? And I'm asking more particularly because both of y'all are in that space right now where like when you feel like you that man, I ain't even gonna say you feel like when you know you that man, you know what I mean? You know you that one. It's just certain shit we not finna even listen to, entertain, or deal with. Okay. And with the way that social media is, I don't want to get into a man versus woman debate for real, or really too much dialogue. But I do want to know like what dating is like for y'all because you hear people talk about relationships on podcasts and shit all the time. You hear men talk about it a lot, but y'all can take it how y'all want to. But I look at a lot of these guys and I go through their page and it's probably guys who have been passed over their whole life and now you got a platform and you're projecting a lot of that shit on as men want, men do, men think. And in reality, men who who feel like they that man, don't deal with that shit. Like for real, it's like I'm gonna let y'all, but how's dating? How's dating?
Man, bro, it's I ain't even gonna lie. I'm really pretty much in a space to where I'm just like all in working on me right now, bro. Just really becoming the man that I really wanna look in the mirror and just be proud of, like all the way in all areas, you know what I'm saying? So at this moment, it's like I'm fucking with whatever's fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? So if you know what I'm saying, it come my way, it's like, bro, I tell any woman that come into my space, like, look, I really ain't got the time for you right now, but as long as you understand that, then, you know what I'm saying, then we cool. But don't make it a big deal, like, why you not answering the phone, why you not getting back to me, why, you know what I'm saying, I ain't heard from you, why we not spending time. I'm gonna make time for you when I can. But I'm really all in on me right now, bro. For real. Just developing myself. So when that right woman do come along, I can be everything that I need to be, for sure. Yeah.
Off today, I'm right back to what he said, but I just needed that affirmation that it's really just it's dolo time. It's back to really just loving me and getting back in that mode. Like I was really dealing with something serious. She was the only one for a minute, but she wasn't fully ready to embrace big girl time. Because there's certain things you got to stand on when you're dealing with me. I'm a man of morals and principles. You're going to have some. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, like a lot of the women we going to meet, they ain't met like a real man before. A lot of them just met, especially nowadays, met in the environments we're around and working, whether it be nightclubs, lounges. They just met niggas with money. These ain't no stand-up niggas. Niggas that do anything for a check.
No, for real.
What does being on big girl time look like? What does that look like in your space?
Taking accountability for your actions, even when you're wrong, and us coming to a solution of what you're going to do moving forward to change that behavior. Because we ain't getting stuck in no negative pattern.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not
Boy,
going to
talk
allow
about it.
you, you know, like we all make mistakes. That was a big thing for me early on when I was dating. Like my ex, like I love her to death. Like I love my ex. She was so genuine and she straight up like us, like with us breaking up, she told me like, you got to understand that not everybody's perfect. And sometimes you project this sense of you being so masculine, it can often be intimidating, and people feel like they have to be a certain stature, be perfect to be around you. And at first I was being defensive, like, nah, I'm just wanting more out of you. Like, I just want you to do better. But then I thought about it, I'm like, nah, you right. Because there's some things I could have had more humility with, because I understand, like, we just different people. But your intentions really were pure. And she helped me to develop myself to the man I'm becoming now. So when I go into future relationships, I am better. So now I know, okay, I'm really not like asking you to do anything you're not capable of. You know what I'm saying? But I know who you are.
Yep.
So if you're not doing it, we can't go any further. Like that was the thing. Like the one, and I'm not gonna get too personal. I'm sure she'll see this. Love her to death, but she wasn't ready to just be a big girl, and some things she couldn't give up being outside, bro. And if you want to be outside, like go be outside. But my spirit, like, it don't sit well. But I'm gonna let you have your fun. That's one thing you gotta understand. If you want a bad one, it's gonna come with that.
Yeah.
Dudes don't understand. They want a bad one and think you can just train her up. That ain't how it go.
Yeah.
You gotta let her be, but at the same time, it gotta be some compromise. Cause you wanna do your do and stay out to 2-3 a.m. Baby, if I'm not working, I'm really in the bed and ready to get up and do morning cardio by 5 a.m. If I'm not working overnight, I'm trying to get in the bed by 10, boots on the ground by 5, and I want to go do my morning cardio and get a meal in me, then go back and hit the weights. Like, that's what I'm focused on.
Yeah.
So I'm in alignment with trying to get up at a certain time. That's the time you're really trying to get in bed. And that's cool. Like, that don't make you a bad person. That don't make me a bad person. You're still in your stage of wanting to experience everything that comes with being outside. Enjoy it. We just not on the same path right now. It might come back around like she's an amazing girl.
Yeah.
Like, truly amazing, but I'm not on what you on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what little baby say? If you see me, they pay me, I don't hang up. If I was not working at clubs, you would not see me at clubs. That's not me. You know, so
Dating. Nah, man. It's an interesting space right now. It's always an interesting topic, man, to bring it up and see how it look for everybody. Cause it look different for me, it look different for you, it look definitely different for Jeff too, man. Relationships are it's a process, to say the least. You know what I mean? And you being willing to be honest with yourself and reflect on where you could have grown, where you could have expressed a little bit more patience and understanding and shit like that is why I don't consider any relationship a failed one. Because if you honestly sit and reflect, maybe you needed that chaos to appreciate some peace if you was dealing with a motherfucker that was all over the place. You know what I mean? Maybe you needed to, like you said, experience somebody who's in that stage of life. Like we connect, we vibe. I mean, all of that other good shit, but we really just in two different spaces, and I can't let you hold me back with your patterns. And I mean, if I'm be dealing with somebody, I need somebody to help push me in the direction I'm going. And then I also don't want to hold you back from going out here getting whatever experiences you feel like you need or you want to have, because at the end of the day, we still young. You know what I mean? So
especially from my perspective,
Yeah.
I got some years on me. So even like dating for me is even funnier from y'all's perspective. Because
I believe it.
Those are some very transformative years of me to late 20s. So
Definitely.
Yeah, man, if I'm being honest, bro, not really. Like, cause the 30-year-old women now competing with the 20-year-old women.
Yeah.
All right, they want the same men, listen to the same music, participate in the same things most of the time. All right, so yes and no, bro. You know what I mean? You may get a woman that's 30, I'm gonna say 30 to 40 years old. She might go out, especially single. I'm speaking single. Okay, she might go out a little less, but she going out because she's still looking for hers. You know what I mean? Whatever the case might be. And if her and the 20-year-old see a 30-year-old in the club, you know what I mean, who look like they might be doing or whatever the case they might be, both of them are in competition or in pursuit of the same person. So I feel like I ain't even gonna, because a 30-year-old woman ain't just old or older, all right? But I feel like you still should be able to mentor the 20-year-old to some extent, instead of out here enabling them, participating and doing the same shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a difference, a little bit, especially when you might be dealing with somebody who's a business owner or somebody who done had their fun already. But for the most part, the single pool from 22 just about to goddamn about 38. Most of the time they carbon copies of each other in different bodies with different ages.
You know what I hate about that?
What?
It's such a lack of like stand up guys that I be looking at them and I really feel bad because it's like what I just went through.
It ain't your fault.
No, nobody's like really had to stand on business with you. Like you're exuding this behavior because no one's forced you to be better. No one set those boundaries with you and said this is what we ain't doing and these are the consequences if you do that. You're used to really feeling like the thing between your pants run something. You know what I'm saying? Some, not all.
Yeah.
But some.
No, you're right.
Because some of us out here are slaves to our desires. So they like, oh man, she right. She right. Nah. Nah, we ain't going like that. You know, so I feel like a lot of them, they haven't had to go through that stage of just accountability. We know how that is as men and standing on our word. I've experienced that a lot, like standing firm on your word. You meet so many women who they don't know the importance of like being impeccable with what we say. If we say we're gonna do it, we gotta honor it. That's
Don't
our
nobody need
value.
to send you a reminder. Like it just needs to. They need to be able to count on the fact that you're gonna get this shit done because you said it.
We said it.
Yeah.
We gotta do it.
Yeah.
We don't have the luxury of just saying something. It just floated into the air. Our word is our honor. That's who we are at our moral code. That's who we
I got
are.
something for you though. So we was just talking about the way of the superior man, and one of the chapters in that book. To summarize it, I wrote basically, you don't make a woman do something, you inspire her to. Okay, so it's a chapter in there that talks about us being impeccable with our word in that book, and it talks about how most men wrestle with the feminine and their word because of how we view
it.
your word.
Yes,
you
sir.
feel me?
Yes, sir.
And with women, their word is really just a reflection of their emotional state at that moment.
Yes, sir.
You feel me? So she might, an example it gives is like, you walk in the house, lady might be upset dealing with some shit. You ask her if she want to go to the movies or something like that. She like, nah, I ain't really feeling it. Not right now. It's a reflection of her mood. You pick her up off her feet, hand her some flowers, kiss her. She ask her again, she gonna be happy as hell to want to go to the movies with you. You know what I mean? So it's really about inspiring that mood for the desired outcome for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's really just it is like
Wisdom.
Yeah, when we talk about making women do something or getting a woman to be like impeccable with their word, I always try to step back and just really from an objective perspective be like, what mood is she in while she giving me this answer or this energy or this response? And then let me get her to a more natural state and try to pursue this question or this scenario again and see if I still get the same answer. Because if you do then okay, this shit just is what it is.
Yeah.
And either I gotta fuck with it or I don't gotta fuck with it, we gotta check it, whatever the case may be. Or, you know what I mean, most of the time, you cater to that mood and that emotion that's surrounding their response, man, you'll get the desired outcome most of the time. But
That's a
I
real
just wanted to
emotionally-
throw that little tidbit in there, especially with us mentioning that book and talking about relationships just a little bit.
Yeah.
Very, very
Yeah.
emotionally mature response, sir.
I don't always get it right, bro. I don't always get it right. Shit, me and Courtney, me and my lady, you know what I mean? just butting heads the other day, man, and I really had to take a step back and be like, what is she trying to say to me with saying this? Like for real. And sometimes I don't like what I feel like, and in this case, I did not like what I saw when I took a step back. You feel me? So, and as a result, I had to address it, and that is the point where that accountability comes into place where like, no, I can't accept that answer. I'm sorry. I hear your explanation, and I understand why you think that's okay, but that shit's not okay.
Right.
Like, no. Like, I hate when you do that. You just said me. I'm like, bro, I've heard you. I've listened to you. You repeating the same thing. Like, but that shit don't make sense, and it's not conducive to a healthy relationship long term. So I can't enable it. And it's not something that I'm okay with. So either we got to understand that this is potentially a deal breaker, you know what I mean, or whatever the case may be. But having to a lot of times, man, just take a second before you respond. Like sometimes I literally have to be like, and you ain't gonna say nothing. Like, trust me, I'm gonna say a lot, but give me a second to process this. You know what I mean? Give me a second so that I don't meet you where you are with your emotions, and now we just bickering back and forth. Like it's like taking, and again, bro, I don't always get this shit right. Sometimes I be like, well, I catch myself. I didn't already responded and met you where you at, and I'm like, fuck, how do I get back off of this? Like, cause now I'm in your world. I ain't never trying to be operating in nobody world, especially no woman. You know what I mean? It's literally like Nashville weather. You don't know what it's gonna get. Sunshine in the morning, might be snowing by the evening. You don't know what you're gonna get. So, man, just owning your space and making sure that you're not letting people take you where they are and what they on, and making sure that you're always in control of that energy. You know what I mean? That's around you.
How important is it to, like, you saw something that, you know what I'm saying, you didn't agree with it. How important is it to address it right then and there or at the right time, and not just letting time pass by or just letting it just go on and hoping things are going to get better or hoping it won't happen again? How important is it to address that, like, in the moment?
Shit.
Like,
If you don't, man, look, if you don't address it when you identify it, what it's gonna look like is you was waiting on them to upset you about some other shit down the line, and y'all gonna be talking about something totally different, and you're gonna bring that into the picture. You're gonna be like, or they gonna be like, where the fuck did that come from? Now you just listing off problems that you have with me, and it's like, and for women, a lot of times, you list 2 to 3 problems or issues that you have with them. Now you beating them down, telling them they less of a person and all this other shit. So your best bet, bro, is to go ahead and nip it in the butt. But again, when you're doing that, everything don't need to be addressed.
yeah.
Our problem is we identify something, we might slightly not like it. Ain't no deal breaker, nothing like that. It's probably something we could deal with, but we feel like we gotta address it anyway. It's a again, man, taking that step back and really realizing and processing, like, is this a deal breaker for me? If not, then you can mention it, be like, I don't really like when you do that, you feel me? But I ain't finna beat you across your head with it. Just be mindful of how you handle me when you doing, you know what I mean, some shit like that.
Slippery slope.
Yeah, right, for real. But if it's a deal breaker, bro, you absolutely have to mention it right then, because the next time it happened, and in your mind, that's the breaking point. Yeah. And they didn't set you off. But to them, they ain't even know it was a fucking problem. You feel me? So they might have saw your attitude or your mood change or something like that, but at the end of the day, they don't understand how serious it is to you. Feel me? So I think it's just letting them know your gauges and your temperament with certain shit. But as far as how important is it, it'll literally sink or swim your relationship.
No, for real.
Like, for real. And women do it more than men. Men will check, like, we'll tell you when some like some shit in a heartbeat.
I was just gonna ask, like, do you feel that it's just as important for, you know what I'm saying, us as men to check each other, you know what I'm saying, when things go down? I already know.
Or check it, like holding each other accountable?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. Just for the people, because I feel like, you know what I'm saying, there's some fellas out here that might see they boys on some fuck shit and just like, man, that's just him, and just let that shit slide instead of addressing it. And then on down the line, the friendship starts dwindling down, you know what I'm saying, because you done let this keep sliding and it's bothering you, and you ain't never addressed it. You know what I'm saying? Got to.
It's what's gonna build it, like, stronger. Like literally, me and Brother Harold, like a couple years ago, had a situation. I did some pussy ass shit. Like, did some hoe shit, and it wasn't cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit wasn't cool. Hoe ass shit. Talked about it, addressed it, and it didn't even have to be a big issue.
Yeah.
I was wrong, bro. Straight up wrong.
We
knew that. We talked about it. But him being a leader, though, he checked me on it. And it ain't nothing to where your pride got to get involved. You feel like somebody, like, just, like, being you down. Like, nah, like, he just being a leader, bro.
Right.
And he telling you, like, we ain't going to move like that. We're going to move a certain way. Tighten up. You're right. Let me tighten up. You know what I'm saying? And from that point forward, that's not an issue you have to worry about no more. You know what I'm saying?
I love
you enable a nigga around you who lack integrity And it's only so long for that nigga cross you too.
Yep.
You watch him.
Yep.
You watch him do whether it's for $1, a female, whatever. You watch a nigga lie, manipulate, and do all this for whatever the case may be. Because at the end of the day, it's their own personal agenda, and it's only so long before their agenda, you know what I mean, outweighs y'all relationship. So man, you gotta check that shit. So you gotta check it, and it ain't even gotta be. You ain't gotta do it with malicious intent. You ain't gotta introduce your ego to the situation either, because at the end of the day, if you're doing that, you should be doing it with somebody you consider your brother. You feel me? And you can let them know, like, I ain't fucking with that, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But, like, it ain't to the point to where I'm willing to dissolve our relationship, our friendship, it's nothing like that. Like, I love to correct this because I pride myself on choosing my friends, like, well. Like, I really do. Like, it ain't too many people who get added to my circle of friends often. You know what I mean? And I will drop a friend and a friend I'll drop in a heartbeat. One of my brothers, you know what I mean? One of these men that I identify as members or as a wolf to the pack that we built. Like, I don't mind, bro. Like, look, bro, let me pull you to the side real quick. Or I appreciate them being able to pull me to the side, because people do see you don't get to choose being a leader, bro. You know what I mean? And a lot of people think that they do.
Yeah.
You feel me? They label themselves a leader. Like, I fought the term being a leader so long, from even just with the gun club, you know what I mean, stuff like that. I really be like, I don't want to do this shit. Like, I don't, but it's just natural, bro. Like, I get in them settings and somebody start doing some shit, I'm like, I'm not finna do that. Like, like, for real. And naturally, it's people who identify with me, and now I gotta be that voice, and now I gotta be that person and stuff like that. So you don't get to choose that shit, man, but you do get to choose the people who are around you, and make sure you choose people wisely who will hold you accountable. Because people, again, man, people see the leadership qualities in me, they see the alpha in me, and people do not want to hold me accountable, bro. Or they'll see me step out of bounds or step out of line or some shit like that, or do some shit that's remotely out of my character, and they won't say nothing. And it'll literally have to be me reflecting on how I handle the situation, be like, oh, you was bullshit. But nobody will tell me. You know what I mean? Nobody will tell me. And I appreciate the brothers that I have around me now, because I ain't gonna let you slide on me, and they ain't gonna let me slide on them. You feel me? So I love that.
Man, this has been an amazing conversation. We talking about a lot, getting a lot of things out here, bro.
Cut my water off, huh?
Where we at on time? 7.
Yeah. So what's next for you, Ty? What's what you see in the near future, bro? What's next? 'Cause I know you loving where you at right now. You know what I'm saying? Where you've grown to be, where you at right now. What you see in the near future for yourself, and for your company as well.
Mainly here in the city, just getting an office space off the ground. Getting an office space where we can actually have like a headquarters. You know, it's kind of tough, especially being who we are, branching out to these private ranges, trying to find land and whatnot to get our people trained on. He know how that go. It's not too easy. So working on that, working on land. That's just from the training perspective. And then just me personally from private security, building the clientele out. You know, I look, and sometimes when we're perfectionists and when we take our craft so seriously, we'd be like, man, why ain't here, why ain't there? Then I sit back and reflect, I've really only been doing this like 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I look back at my 2 years, and I'm proud of myself. So I'm just gonna continue to push, like keeping a tenacity there, like keeping my foot on my own neck, because a terrible thing for a man to do is become complacent. As David Goggins said, son, you never arrived. You never arrived.
Never.
And understanding too, like it came with ups and downs. Like, you
Of
know,
course.
with my career, like I've had mentors, people I fell out with, we didn't see eye to eye with, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been on some high profile details, and I've experienced like being on a high profile detail and getting sent home. First time I got fired from a job, you know, in this career field, but through a lot of reflecting and understanding, like, okay, I know how to do things differently. I know how to choose who I say particular things to. I know how to keep business now, and keeping personal things personal. You know what I'm saying? Especially being young, you know, I came with growing pains, getting thrown into a corporate sector, and, you know, thinking people who were friends, but they really are, you know, wolves in sheep clothing, because they might be, you know, they know who they are. They might be twice your age, and they looking at you like, I'm in my 50s, he in his 20s, and he doing all this. Why I wasn't where he was when I was his age?
Yeah.
And then they act like it's friendship, but they're building envy.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't see some of those things early on, but now you gotta go through it to grow through it.
Indeed.
So, you know, through these, you know, past couple of years, I've experienced a lot. And we got a lot on the way. Like this, like I love Nipsey so much, and I hate to be long-winded in this response.
Nah, go ahead and talk,
But
brother.
I love Nipsey's music so much because I call it like manifestation music. Even his interviews. If you really sit down and listen to Nipsey, he's just being a prophet in everything he said he was going to do, and I love it because I love the journey. I love the journey. It's not the destination. It's what it took to get there. So I'm that's why I say it's so spiritual. Like I'm looking at my life right now, and I'm like, God, the way this finna be in these next few years, like crazy.
Yeah.
Like I'm just bracing it because I know like it's getting delivered front door. Like
Yeah.
that truckload coming in for real. Like
Yes, sir.
it's on the way. So I'm just thankful, man. Like expressing gratitude every day. That's one thing we don't do enough. You know, you gotta reflect like what it took just for you to get where you are now. We want to get to that next level, but it was a time you was just wishing and praying you got to where you are now. You know what I'm saying? We was walking and just want to, we wish we had a car. Now we seeing somebody else in that big body and we like, well, I ain't got that big body, but you got a car though. You know what I'm saying?
Talk
So,
about it.
man, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. Like it's stuck up there.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to watching the next few steps, bro. Like exponential growth, unexplained growth. Like, how the hell did I get here, growth? You know what I mean? Like, the shit that where people like, I couldn't have seen this. Like, for real. I saw me getting to this point, but it was just like, shit just kept going.
Yeah.
Like, and it just kept going, and I kept growing as a result of it. So I look forward to watching it, bro. For real. I appreciate you coming on here, tapping in with us, telling your story, bro, and providing some insight and some game, bro. You dropped a lot in this. This is one of them ones where we have to give y'all the full episode. You can't clip this out.
Right.
I mean, we could clip it and hit a few highlights, but them tidbits is literally gonna be breadcrumbs that's gonna make you want that low.
Gotta go.
You feel me?
Yeah,
So,
you gotta go get that. that
you gotta
whole
go
thing.
get that.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that, bro. Jeff, you got anything else before we wrap up?
Man, not really, man. This has been an amazing, very insightful conversation, bro. I'm looking forward to everything that's finna come your way as well, bro. I'm loving the energy.
Thank you.
So you know what I'm saying? I feel like you know, we was just talking about meeting in Memphis, and you know what I'm saying, when we was down there, I feel like just seeing your energy from then and then to now, like I'm loving it, bro. So keep going with it, keep growing,
Appreciate you, brother.
keep doing your thing,
Thank
bro. Love to see it.
Can I look in that camera real quick?
Of course, talk to
Yeah,
the
this-
people. Talk to the people.
This was episode 1. So if you ain't coming like this on the Elevated Podcast on episode 1, take your ass back home.
Nah, for real, man.
It's heavy.
I appreciate y'all tapping in with Elevated Podcast, man. I hope that this conversation, this dialogue, finds a way into your routine, your body. I hope that it finds a way into your DNA and elevates some area of your life, man.
Yes,
we
sir.
appreciate y'all for real, and look forward to going on this journey with y'all too, man. For real.
Let's go. Yes, sir.
Yo.
Episode
fire.
1, baby.
That's fire.